And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
It's Matt Marsh!
Woohoo!
Oh, I wish.
Maybe while I'm on vacation for the next 6 weeks, I'll figure out a new opening.
There you go.
That includes, like, we'll have two. I'll have like one with Matt and one without.
There you go.
Woo!
Woohoo!
I wish I had something witty to say. Our country's going to hell in a handbasket. The fire rages hotter and hotter, and somehow aliens abducted our scheduled guest for the week. So
my left titty nipple got an eye on it.
Well, good goddamn, it's the shit you learn right here. Welcome to Dysfunction fucking
Well,
Junk.
good for you. Aren't you a darling?
Like everything fell apart today. So the best we got is, like they did on Yellowstone. Look, like the best we got is fuck it.
Yeah,
Let's
fuck
go.
it.
The best we got is like fuck it. So here we are.
All right.
We're supposed to have a guest. There was some sort of communication breakdown. Maybe it'll happen in the future. We'll see. But you still got us, baby.
That's right.
You got
And
us, baby.
we are
In
Chris
all our glory
Burns.
hole.
we got
Chris
Glory
Lynch.
Hole himself,
Oh.
Chris Lynch,
The glory hole.
Dr. Sausage and Gravy himself, Matt Marsh.
Yeah.
Coors Banquet Beer. Gimmick.
How are you wearing a sweatshirt?
Because I'm in an air-conditioned basement.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, well,
You're making me
Kinda-
hot just looking at you.
I know.
Yeah, I'm making you hot for all kinds of reasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit, the,
Oh, there it goes. Marsh is going to
apparently the
transform
edibles-
another one.
the edibles kicked in.
The butt stuff has begun. And speaking of butt stuff,
I thought it was a Skittle.
Of a butt,
Yeah,
and
my
you'll
pen.
want to put it in your mouth. It's Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up, everybody
Oh.
out there in TV and YouTube and Facebook land? What is
Tell
TikTok.
me, and I know two of you did, but I'm just going to ask it as a blanket question. Tell me, you watched that train wreck of a debate.
Well, we all know Matt didn't because the last
I-
TV Matt watched was Megaforce.
That's true.
Live, like the last live TV Matt watched was Megaforce. So,
God,
which is
Megaforce.
funny. He'll watch Megaforce, but won't pay attention to anything that goes on in the world that could affect his money. I'm just saying. I'm
Don't-
just saying. That
The real
part of
world
me
don't
is-
have flying
very-
motorcycles in
that
it.
part of me is very disappointed, Matthew. I got to be honest. The whole financer thing, we've done some money talks, and we've talked money before. And the fact that you don't follow politics, literally to fucking balance it against.
I'll tell you what's upsetting me is nobody has asked Lynch if he's going to die. Are you okay, Chris? All right.
He got hand signals.
All right.
He
As
asked for the raccoons in his beard.
whether
to
it's-
help him out.
whether it's Tuesday night or Wednesday night, when someone asks the question, please don't die, or are you going to die? Please don't
Please
die.
don't die.
And here we go. Look, I can break the debate down in my mind's eye in 5 minutes. Both guys spoke strong for the first 15 minutes. I really thought Biden brought some sort of game. Wasn't an A game. Brother hasn't had an A game since the late 90s. But he spoke well. And then after that, it became a tale of two idiots. One wouldn't answer the question asked of him and trailed for about, I don't know, if he got 90 seconds, 75 seconds of that was rambling about something. And then he threw in a soundbite.
No,
other
it was
one-
it was personal attacks. It was all
Yeah.
personal attacks.
Exactly.
And
but he wasn't
I don't give a fuck about either candidate.
Herm, who broke the lamp? Well, let me tell you something about this guy. No,
Right.
who
Let me
broke
tell
the
you-
fucking lamp?
No, who broke the fucking lamp? Like,
That's the question. Answer the fucking question. And
well,
then
the moderator, what's her name there? At one point she looked at him and she's like, "Sir, for the third time, the original question was like,"
Yeah.
and he still didn't hit a fucking mark. Like,
nope.
I
Now, in the middle of
when
this
he
debate
did hit
is
a
when
mark, the numbers, everything was bullshit. Like anybody with any intelligence fact checking any number he threw out was like, "That's not correct. That's not
that's
true.
overinflated. That's this.
That-
That's this.
That's inflated by 200%. That, like, none of these, it's literally like look, that's not how any of this works.
But
That's not how
but
any
then-
of this works.
But then you had the idiot in chief, the current idiot in chief, not the former idiot in chief, who just started absolutely mumbling incoherently and then said, out of nowhere, we beat Medicare. What? What?
No, the problem was he didn't beat Medicare. The problem was it was supposed to be we beat Medicare and there was supposed to be more to it.
Silence.
The problem is that he got cut at that point. His mic turned off. Now, I'm not saying he didn't have a look. There was a couple where he looked a little. That particular exchange was rough.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. What I thought I saw though was at the very least, I saw Joe answering questions. For the most part, 95% of it, he answered the question he was asked.
Oh yeah, that was the high spot for him.
That was literally for me.
So he followed the instructions.
Right, right. Like he got the assignment. The assignment was she's going to ask questions. And I'm going to answer them as best I can without a teleprompter. And that's how we're having this. It's basically a conversation.
Unlike the other one.
Yeah.
The other one, right, immediately like, let me tell you what Joe did with sir. What do you think? She asked him 3 times about
will you accept the nomination?
And also there was
I read the highlights.
there was the question about what do you have planned or in the works for those people suffering from drug addiction?
Yes.
And it was, you know what Joe did with Medicare? No, sir, that's not the question.
And he's bringing in all the fentanyl, and he's doing this.
Right. He's letting the fentanyl in, and it's because of it's because of all the illegals. No, that's not what we're asking. What we're asking is, do you have do you have a social plan on how to deal with the drug addiction that's gripping areas of this country? You know what Joe did with Medicare?
Well, that's what Trump is good at. He's good at redirecting and diverting.
Deflection.
Every time
it's not a pivot with him. He doesn't pivot. He just literally just fucking. He's like a UFO. Like we were. We
were going straight. Now we're going left.
We were tracking this thing at 700 miles an hour headed north, and next thing I know, this thing's fucking headed south, bro. Like there's not even a pivot. It's.
And it was always jumping up. Let me go back to what Mr. Biden said. Let me go back to what Joe just said. He's doing callbacks to stuff that it doesn't matter in the moment.
Exactly.
He knows what to. If you just answer the fucking question, he knows what to say. But that's always a tactic of his in any debate he's ever been in. Whether it was,
he can't because admitting
that's just the way he rolls. But people who follow him blindly think that's how you debate. It's not how you debate.
That's not how you debate.
And that's the problem. Majority of America thinks debating is just yelling at each other and seeing who looks better at the end of the debate.
No,
that's not a debate.
Do a better form of formal debate. Well, informal debate here on the show. Okay, literally, it's about
point,
an idea,
counterpoint,
taking it and working a counterpoint and accepting it and listening to it, and that's how it's done. It's basically what we do here on the show. We just kind of do it with chaos.
Yeah,
and the way it was set up would have been perfect for both of them. Biden with no distractions or interruptions when he was really strong for the first 15 minutes.
Right, yeah. And Trump with no crowd to play to, no camera, no camera lights to figure out where to work.
Where do I look?
His thing.
Yeah,
you saw that from him all night because there wasn't a camera. He was always like looking off.
Right, and which is totally disconnecting with the people
sitting
and actually watching you.
Right, rather like I'd have been like just like staring at I'd have been either looking at Joe or I'd have been looking at the hosts.
And I know we brought this up in the chat. I, for the first 20 minutes, thought Joe was reading off a teleprompter. just by the way he was squinting and kind of he would fixate on one point at one point in his eye line. From what Herm told me, which I didn't realize, is that the commentators were so far away, the
commentators
moderators
were like 40, 50 feet away. And look,
so
Joe
he was looking to see him,
right,
or her.
Right. They're 40, 50 feet away the way that it was shot. It didn't look that way with the cameras and the angles they used, but they were quite far away from the stage, kind of the way a producer would sit in the middle of the audience seating while watching an audition.
Right.
So both of them were who are working to see who the fuck they're talking to. But that was Joe's issue, was they were far away and he didn't have glasses on. There it is.
Yeah, no, I will say, and I'll close out my 5-minute whatever, because I there are 3 things that I came away with. The first 15 minutes, both were strong. In the middle, they both became children. They both closed very well with their closing remarks. But when you listen to people like Pod Save America, a left-leaning podcast, or when you listen to Marsha's back. When you listen to Ben Shapiro, each one of them thinks their side won. Nobody won this debate. If there was one winner in this debate, it was CNN for the ratings. That's it. This was the most painful debate I've ever watched since the three-headed monster of George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Ross Perot. That was a train wreck, and I have no sound on Marsh. Uh-oh. Well, we'll wait for him to get his gimmick back up. But yeah, it was like watching, and I hate to say it like this, but it's Dysfunction Junction. It's like watching 2 retards fight over a watermelon. Nobody wins. The winner's the watermelon. It's going to get eaten one way or the other. But CNN was the winner of the debate. Neither one of those gentlemen, and I use that term loosely on both of their parts, neither one of them put up a really strong showing in this debate. From Trump not answering questions to Biden doing his usual tail off, and again came back strong, no doubt about it. But there was no winner of this debate.
So for me,
we got you.
For me, there wasn't really nobody. There was no like blatant winner. I feel that Joe won only for literally the fact that he answered questions. And I'm sorry that that's literally what the bar has come down to for a fucking debate. But the fact is, they asked questions and he was the only fucking person on stage that answered them straight up.
Now think about that. I'm going to ask you one question. How sad is that? How absolutely sad is that?
That's the bar. Dude, he had a great debate. What did he do? He answered questions. That's it. What did the other guy do? I don't know. I don't know what to call that.
Well, see, I'm gonna spin this another way, and not
sounds like some shit my 7-year-old made up.
Yeah, right.
He was trying to get out of getting his ass beat or a grounding. I don't know.
So I'm gonna spin this in another direction. Is that Biden did well? He did his job in the debate, minus the losing his mind a couple times.
Yeah, I mean,
not anything on target.
C+.
Yeah, he gets a solid C+.
That's generous.
He did the assignment as asked.
He did the assignment. You know,
he was having a bad day.
C+.
However, the true winner on the backside of this a week later is fucking Trump, because Biden put up such a poor performance that today, Democrat from Texas has pleaded to the Democratic Party and Joe Biden, please step down.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the 25th Amendment.
Step down.
That's unfortunately.
So,
I'm not
in the country's eyes. In the country's eyes, a majority of the country.
But no, that's
Trump won that debate. Whether he did or not, he did not. In my personal opinion, he did not.
He did not.
But
that is a knee-jerk. Unfortunately, that is the knee-jerk reaction to you liberals that watched the first hour of that debate and wrote Joe off and were already fucking saying he needed to step down. And then, guys, we are predominantly look, I'm the most liberal out of all of us, I think.
I am
far from fucking liberal. I am liberal on a couple of specific issues.
All
right,
center left.
I'm still.
Herm and I are about the same positions on a most.
Right. The only thing we really disagree on is abortion. I don't
have to weigh and measure all that.
But we have for 3 years we've weighed and measured all of that.
Well, I haven't.
And basically, it comes down to the only thing that Lynch and I don't really agree on is abortion.
That's it.
And that's about it.
And it's it wouldn't be a hard push to get me to understand Herm's concept of it, because
you know what I mean?
I'm an open-minded person.
Right. And I could literally pitch it to Lynch and he might not buy it, but he would respect that I thought of it that way.
Absolutely.
Just on that basis. But that's literally the only topic we pretty much don't agree on.
No, I understand what you're saying, Herm, as that he didn't win, but the four of us know that. It's not the four of us that I'm worried about.
No, it is, but that was
it's the general public.
Did you see the numbers? Did you see the numbers with undecided voters that Biden pulled, though?
I have not seen anything like
I
that.
haven't seen
more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
He pulled amazing numbers, literally just for filling out. Look, do you know the 800 points you get on your SATs?
Yeah,
just for filling your fucking name out correctly and following the rules.
I got an 810.
Yeah. So you did your name and got one right.
Matt, I got an 810. That Matt, don't ever tell that to anybody ever again. Don't ever say that.
That was under the old grading system, though, where you got freaking the math section and
no, literally filling out your name's correction was about following instructions, and it was an 800 point.
That's not a real good selling point, Marsh.
I got an 810
right, because I got a 400 on one and a 410 on the other.
So when Aunt Barbara was touching me there, it was bad.
Go ahead, Lynch.
So when Aunt Barbara was touching me there when I was a kid, that's bad.
That's
okay,
bad.
Never mind. Don't go ahead, Lynch.
No, but literally the fact that he answered questions,
I see that.
Look,
and I understand it.
People in the middle aren't buying Trump's bravado. I'm the best. It's the best thing. I'm the best negotiator. The people in the middle aren't. All right. People like my wife upstairs who voted for him because she really thought something different was going to happen, and then it just turned. He doesn't know how to shut it, and these are her words. He doesn't know how to shut his mouth. He's fucking degrading to women in general.
I did the same thing.
Okay, it was the same thing I did with Biden. He campaigned very much in the middle.
Yes.
He campaigned as a moderate, bro, and I was like, all right, I could back this. This is not fucking insane.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you why I did it. I can justify it, but
and then he just went left, and he lost me. I can admit it. I'm an adult. I'm not ashamed.
I voted for Trump
on what I saw. We all saw it. That's why a lot of us voted that way.
I voted for Trump, and very similar to what Jennifer did. Let's see what this guy can do.
Well, that's what I did in the 2016.
Right.
That was the only one.
And you realized
let's give him a crack.
He was run his fucking mouth and grab pussies, and
that's the part I liked.
You know,
but it was exactly like why Jen did it, because after all these years of professional politicians, I was like, you know what? If I'm sick of this shit, let's see what somebody else can actually freaking do.
A businessman who would run the country like a business.
We need to get
we're a giant corporation. Let's have somebody run like one.
To run for president.
You need who?
A fireman.
Oh yeah,
done.
Fireman, cop.
A fireman. There it is. But that's Jen will completely admit it. I thought there was gonna be something.
I own that shit.
I do too.
Same way I do with Biden, bro. We all thought, a lot of us that are in the middle, totally thought he was going to. It sounded great, man. And then he took a hard fucking left.
I mean, honestly, I voted for Obama the first time because I
Same.
was in Arizona and I
Same.
couldn't bear the thought of seeing, McCain up close and personal. I was like, I'm not doing this. And I grew up pretty conservative, voting pretty conservative, but that's just how I went.
With
I like
with
John McCain.
I just want to draw a few comparisons about when people reflect on Obama, about what a great man he was.
I'm not. Yeah.
All right. So he was known as the deporter in chief in Mexico because he deported over 3 million people during his 2 terms.
Yeah.
He killed he is the president of modern times, has the highest body count.
Can we
for
time out real
military-
quick? We have
military
we have
casualties.
I got something to say. Hold on 1 second. In relation to that body count, I got to be honest. People always said Obama was not black. He wasn't black enough.
Oh, here we go.
A lot of people.
Well, I didn't
He
have any
wasn't black
issue.
enough. All right, he wasn't black enough. We've all heard it. We all have heard it.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Say he's just not black enough. Look, I gotta be honest, man. This motherfucker used more drone strikes
That's
than
what I'm
any
saying.
other president on the planet. Okay, all right. And if a drone ain't nothing more than a military motherfucking drive-by, then you tell me what the fuck it is.
All right.
That man is the blackest president on the planet. He conducted more drive-bys than anybody else. Now, let's get back to Miss Coons.
If you look in the comment section, you will see Christine Coons. Christine,
Hey,
thank you for joining us.
hello.
We
I
are
didn't have
all
that up.
pulling and praying and hoping for the best for you. And Lynch, later on when this show is over, if you could share that link for people
I
for
will.
the GoFundMe for Christine.
I will.
God, kid, my heart breaks. I did reach out to Mike, your husband, and ask how you were, ask how everybody's doing. I said, call me whatever you need me. What?
What was the hat? What did Michael used to call his hat? What
The
was
Groove
it?
On.
The Groove On.
I got my groove
I
on.
was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I got some solidarity. I was like, I should get whatever I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, the hat, the thing. Now I can say it is. I should go get a groove on.
I should go get my groove on.
I can still get my groove on for some support.
But we are glad you are recovering. We are glad you're okay. We are extremely happy that you're here with us to talk about the horse shit that we went through this past week. Look, as far as voting, Herm knows I campaigned for Clinton twice. I was a registered Democrat up through and including about 8 years ago until I went independent. I can't stand the two-party system. Oh, good. Christine goes home on Thursday. Fan-fucking-tastic. Swig a beer to you, my friend.
That's awesome,
Swig a
CJ.
beer. We are all just. I know Lynch and I have been talking about it a lot. We're all praying for you, really, really hard. Even Marsh, even though he doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No idea, but I'm
Exactly. Yeah, keep praying.
Just to give you a little
Solidarity.
backstory, Christine Coons is a very old friend of mine. I've known
Yeah, we
her
are.
since we were 9 years old, I think.
We are
I
definitely
was all through school with her. She suffered a stroke a month ago, and so she's been in the hospital recovering from said stroke, and she's getting sprung. Yeah, right, CJ? A long time. So, yeah, over 30 years.
The hell was
Appropriate. That's the 30 years ago.
That is the 30 years sound effect. We've had that for 3 years. Whenever me and Burns or Lynch and anybody tells a story, and we're talking about back when we was kids and we were doing it, it was like 30. I've known Herm for 35 years.
It's the dream sequence.
The dream sequence music.
It's just a gay little thing
Welcome
we
to
do.
the show, Matt.
Just a gay little thing we do.
Wow.
Well,
And
anyway.
he even evoked the gayness. Go ahead, please.
Anyway, Christine Coons, CJ, Siege, whatever you want to call her. I've known her for many, many years. She's one of probably the coolest, nicest quality human being I've met in my life. There's a GoFundMe going around. If you follow my personal page, I posted it the other day. When we're done with the show, I'm going to go up as a DJ under the Dysfunction Junction page and also share it around. I was having a GoFundMe set up for her to help with offset some medical costs because it's quite costly. Yeah, New Lynchville before Burns. It's
Yep. Which is usually odd because usually
It's
it goes the other way.
but I'm going to share the
And CJ
GoFundMe
is
on our
probably, other than Herm, the only person I could be passenger in their car and be scared for my ever loving life.
Oh, I can see that.
Herm was
I can see
like
that.
I'm like a fucking Six Flag ride. You are
Exactly.
going to shit your pants, but you also know when it's over, you're going to be safe.
That's how it was riding in a car with CJ. All those trips to New Haven and other places, and hell, even just riding around town. They'd call, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Nothing. I'm gonna come pick you up. We're just gonna go drive around," which involved me at least 13 times grabbing for the "Oh Jesus" handle, going, "I hope I live through this. I really hope I live through this."
Yeah,
But
it's,
again, as Lynch
Out
said,
here it's called the No Bueno Bar.
There
no
you go.
bueno.
Swear
I'm
to God,
stealing that.
It's called
El
the
Fuego.
It's called the No Bueno Bar. Not good. Not good. Not good.
I love it. I love
Or
it.
the
Anyway,
Diablo.
Or the
get back to my
bendejo.
point. Yeah, enough. CJ says enough about her. We will acquiesce your request. Enough about you. I campaigned twice for Clinton. Changed my affiliation about 8 years ago. The two-party system has failed this country because what I'm watching right now, and it's been happening for about 8 years now, is if the right does something the left doesn't like, the left bitches. If the left does something the right doesn't like, the right bitches. Nobody's meeting in the middle and saying, "Let's hash this out."
Yeah, bipartisan.
Nobody.
Jen and I were talking about that the other night. All right. So here's the scenario. Senator, we have a bill here, and it does this, and it does this, and it does this, and it makes appropriations for this and this, and it also does this. Oh, that is excellent. That bill sounds awesome. Who proposed that bill?
Yeah.
Insert name of anybody of the Democratic Party here. Oh, hell no. We are not, or insert name of anybody on the opposing party. Oh,
Yeah.
hell no. That bill sucks. Fuck that bill.
Yeah, unless they're
shit.
Unless they're extremely moderate, that happens. Did you hear AOC the other day crying the blues when Trump got the immunity? Which, look, by and large, he shouldn't be charged with anything. Hold on, let me finish. Yeah, of course. Because that's the way the law is. He did not incite anything, cannot be prosecuted. He's got a certain level of immunity. But AOC went out of her way to say, well, now that he's gotten away with this, he can just kill anybody. Ma'am, get back to bartending. You're an idiot.
Unfortunately, it is a very slippery slope now with exactly what he can get away with. It does open a door or a Pandora's box that we're not necessarily ready to deal with if the envelope is pushed.
If
that woman,
yeah, but she's dumber than a box of shit, and anybody who stands up for her can suck my ass.
Box of shit.
She is.
She's not. She really isn't. She is young, all right, but unfortunately, she's very emotional, and that's part of her problem. But look, she's allowed to believe what she wants to believe, and I'm good with that. I don't always agree with what she says. Some of it sounds a little out of left field sometimes, but she good for her for thinking about however she's legitimizing it. Let's be honest, because it's America and that's how we roll here.
But did she get an 810 on her SATs?
Probably an 807.
I'm gonna bet she didn't. I'm just gonna say she probably got at least 1,000, if not more.
Can we demand to see her SAT scores?
I got
it's like tax records. I want to see the SAT scores.
Yeah, right.
I got a 1281. That's all I'm gonna say.
Excuse me. I need to see a full body nude. Just to see.
Oh. No. As much as when she first hit the scene, I would have liked that. I have nightmares now that she'll come into my house and try to rape me.
She's not she is not an unattractive woman. Then her mouth opens up, and you're just like,
but she's an unattractive person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but a lot of people are that way. You know, you know, there's an entire church full of those people every Sunday all over the country. They look real pretty, but you know, they're in church for face, not for you know, because you know somebody's banging somebody's husband and somebody's irreputable. But that's beside the point. The fact is that
I can relate.
That
me too.
She's not always. She's a little emotional, and that's literally where her downfall.
I mean, we can't all be pretty on
the problem outside. Is that everybody has to hate everything the other side does. And that's where it's come down to. It's not we disagree on certain issues.
No,
It's
we
now
disagree with who's
everybody
presenting 'em.
disagrees off the rip.
Well, we really
Yep.
can't help it because that's what we've been indoctrinated for the last 20 years.
Well, between that and I don't want these people getting credit for this idea, and it's just it's nonsense.
At the end of the day, any bill that crosses that
This is all MTV's fault for when they started Road Rules and the Real World. This is it. There it is.
I
So
said
they
that
just
yesterday.
canceled MTV News, so we're okay.
That is the fucking that is the beginning of the downfall of this country.
At the end of the day, any bill that goes across that Senate table should have 50-50 input and emotion behind it because it's supposed to be bipartisan. We came to this agreement together, like we're supposed to. Not this, the left don't like this and the right don't like that. Just because a leftist wrote a person from the left, I should say, wrote that bill.
These
I'm just going to blanketly say no. Fucking read it. Pull out some good ideas.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to meet the people who a number of years ago wrote in Nancy Pelosi's fucking fish ladder for California. That was a real fucking good one. A fish ladder.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
Anyway.
the fish ladder.
You have to look it up. Google.
I remember
Nancy, Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, just Google Nancy Pelosi
It's
fish.
just it's discouraging.
One of the things that I've always said to
We need
people,
those
well,
samples.
how could you not be Republican or Democrat? How could you not sit on the other side? Here's the deal. If somebody, and I'm piggybacking your point, Lynch, if somebody puts a bill and I'm a senator in front of me, and let's just for the sake of argument call me a Republican senator. I am right-leaning, as you guys know, center-right, independent, but I'm a little more to the right. And I don't care if it's Senator Herman from the Democratic Party puts this bill in front of me and I read it and I go, wow, this hits all the bases. It's backed by logic and fact. I can see how this can benefit the American people. I'm in. The way things are now, you have the opportunity to be cast out like a leper by your own party because you voted for this.
You want to know who proposed the bill and is it a D or an R before
I don't care.
No, but that's where they're at.
That's how it
exactly.
is.
That's
it's
what
not
I'm
about
that's
advocating for your constituents.
That's the point I'm making right now is if you put a bill in front of me and I was a senator and if I was a Republican senator and Herm was the Democratic senator says, I'd like you to read this, go over it. We're voting on it Tuesday. I'm going to read this bill and be like, oh my God, if it's good and it employs logic, facts, and benefits the American people, I'm in. That's the way it should be. But like you guys have all pointed out very eloquently, it's more of a pissing contest now where, oh, well, Senator Herman from the Democratic Party put this out there. Fuck him.
Well, and that's the thing, because if they break ranks and support the bill, they get blackballed on whatever committee they're on anything else, and they become voiceless, essentially.
Yeah, you're right. They neuter them by
it's like you're with us or you're fucking over.
And it's just the way it's been going for 20 plus years.
It is. It's a broken freaking system.
And we, the American people, learn from their poor example. Yeah. When I say we, I don't mean the four of us. I mean we as the collective.
Right.
Out there beyond my four walls.
No, we just learned despair.
But
that's the royal we.
the royal we. What was my point?
I wish I knew.
Oh, I know something a question I want to raise. Let's say Joe Biden does recuse himself and step down. What the fuck? Gavin Newsom.
Look,
Michelle Obama.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
And I can't think of a third. Those are Obama
Kamala
and
Harris.
Newsom. Fuck her.
I know, but
Obama
Vice President of the United States. That's the way the ladder falls.
Obama.
Look, I'm not racist. You all know this. And if I am, I'm equally racist, and I fucking hate white people. So
you are pretty equal opportunity.
Okay? I shit on white people more than for their food than I do any other ethnic group ever.
Especially people from Iowa.
Let's be fuck Iowa.
Yes.
White people can't cook shit.
See, that's what I'm saying.
All right, sorry. That's there it is. I hate Caucasians in Iowa.
But
ladies and gentlemen, my co-host Andrew Jackson.
Sorry,
but think of
Kamala Harris only gets that on, and I'm on the she's black, and it's first black woman, and that's literally only card she's got to play. She's done nothing.
Just think of the country being run by Gavin Newsom. And just think hard. Just think California.
Look, I understand, but Gavin votes and handles shit the way that his people do. All right, and that's the way it works there.
Yeah,
Gavin,
unique.
Look. Gavin has had a couple of great interviews. Guys, check him out. HBO Max. He had an amazing interview with Bill Maher, and he was not fucking wrong when he answered the questions. He was kind of spot on. Gavin is a little liberal, all right? But he is, all right?
That's like saying my mother's a little heavy.
Right?
She a large woman, Chris?
We'll get to that after the show.
She Rubenesque?
Oh, she ate all the Rubens. That's how she got esque.
She's Lark-esque.
Large-ish.
No, Lark, as in like
planets orbit her.
But
your point, Gavin Newsom.
He speaks well. He'd be a good candidate for the party. That's all I'm saying.
I would be scared.
I'd love any worse than it is now.
I'll be honest. He doesn't want it. Jared doesn't want it. I talk to him. I talk about him like he comes over every week.
Yeah, right. You went fishing last week.
But our governor would be an amazing.
I think so too.
An amazing fucking candidate. But he's already said, "Look, I just like running Colorado.
It's like I have my own country now."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, you can't. Denver Airport is convenient from nowhere in the state to get to. Okay, like that's why, like Denver. That's why, like the.
It's true. I've been there.
That's why the airport's like in Kansas. It's fucked up. But yeah, literally, like there's mountains all over the place that surround it. It's hard to get into. It's hard to get out of. Denver Airport is literally Wakanda for white people.
It's like flying into fucking Mordor.
Look, it's literally Wakanda for white people. We don't want people to come here, and we don't want our people to leave. That's how difficult that is.
Colorado forever.
For real. But Jared Polis, I think, would make an awesome candidate. But he's already said, "Look, I don't want the job. I just like my little kingdom."
You know what? And people
look, my gay married governor thinks I should be able to protect my house and my weed with guns. There it is. That's his political fucking stance. And he thinks that babies should get, that people should get free diapers because for their kids there should be some help, and taxes should be low, and that the fucking people should get a refund check when we don't use all of the money. I can't bitch.
I'd love to see Senator Kennedy from Louisiana take a stab at running.
You know what?
I love him.
With Jared, like, dude, you want to fly the pride flag all month? I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Keep doing what the fuck you're doing. I love it. Support anything you want. God bless the fucking pride flag and 6% mill rate.
Yeah, just send me my check.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
So I don't think Joe's gonna nut up and actually step down. Personal opinion, I don't think it would be a good move for him. He's so far invested now.
Dude, does anybody want to be remembered as the president
that walked away?
Walked away. Come on, man. I would much rather lose than just walk the fuck away.
Whatever legacy, either positive or negative, that he is going to leave behind, it's going to end on the downest of down notes that you could end anything. He walked the fuck away. He quit.
Does he still get his own library if he walks away?
I don't know. We could ask him.
Nixon has one.
We could ask him, and he'd actually answer the question.
Nixon was resigned. He
would answer the question,
and then resigned because he was impeached, and then he was pardoned.
Oh, he didn't even get toward. They didn't even have a chance to get to the articles of impeachment.
No.
He was this close, and Nixon said, "Dude, I'm out.
I'm done."
Well, yeah, everything was drawn up. It just hadn't been submitted to for official vote yet.
It was a butt hair away.
It was like, fuck this, I'm out. There it is.
So you brought up You brought up Nixon. It's driving me out of my fucking skull with these liberals seeing, see, look what would have happened if this was in power around the times of Nixon. Why are you casting your opinion on something that happened 60 fucking years ago?
Well, because
guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. It's in the past.
Well, that's how they do it.
It does not matter. It's in the past.
I was just thinking the same thing.
It does not matter. It's in the past.
It still hurts. Oh, sometimes the past can hurt.
Sometimes the past can hurt.
It does not matter.
Doesn't matter. But stop, please, liberals.
Rafiki for president.
You need an upgrade, Douglas. Did anybody get that comment?
No.
I don't know.
All right, so I don't remember who it is, but it's the guy. There's a guy. There was a commercial, and it was for somebody with a phone and an upgrade, right? And there was a goat in the commercial. When I was back, we were back home, and I was still in Connecticut. And there's a goat in the commercial for wireless, and the goat is telling them about all kinds of cool shit. And then, like, the phone is on the desk, right? You could tell that the goat came in and did the scene, and then they did the voiceover. But like, the goat is just smashing the phone on the grate, and he's trying to sell a fucking new cell phone plan. And he's like, "Oh, look, you need an upgrade, Douglas." And
see, my first thought when you did that, I'm thinking of Hal from 2001. Yeah, what are you doing, Dave?
And that's where it pops in my head. That was stream of consciousness to the commercial. Like, I just wrecked your shit. You need
an upgrade.
2.0.
But yeah, liberals, please just stop
trying
to reinvent the past.
Gavin said it best.
It happened already.
Debate, okay, Gavin said, "Look, there needs to be less worrying and more doing."
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I agree with him on that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Stop freaking the fuck out, people.
Deal with what you can deal with right now in front of you.
Stop freaking the fuck out. More doing.
Yeah. Less this and more this. You know?
Right.
Less yakking, more moving. Because you can't change anything.
Yeah.
That's what it drives me nuts about people hashing up the past. You can't fucking change it. Yeah, if that law if they had made that decision back in the early 70s, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Well, yeah,
it wouldn't have changed the world because guess what? It didn't fucking happen.
Slavery would have never happened, and the civil rights movement would have never needed to happen, and all sorts of movements that happened would have never needed. But that's not how that shit works.
Yeah, exactly. SAT scoring wouldn't have been rigged.
You know, slavery, which America did for 400 years, unlike the rest of the fucking world who did it.
I wish I had been born pretty instead of ugly and rich. It just didn't work out that way.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting from here, and with the, like you said, Pandora's box is now open. There could be some bad shit. There could be some bad shit to come out of this in the future. Again, I'm looking forward, not backward. What implications does that have for the office of the president?
Right, like how dirty can he get before it's actually an issue?
How low can I go?
Can he incite a crowd into a fury? I'm just saying, how far can he push all of that into before he goes, the Supreme Court said I have immunity, bitches.
From that one thing
that happens, but it does allow for that wiggle room. Hey,
it does. It does.
A lot of levity.
Do whatever the fuck I want.
A lot of leverage.
This isn't really out of that reason. Hey, lawyer guy, explain to him why it's not that unreasonable.
But they will if it has to happen. And this is where I'm having issues with certain people out in the free world right now. Is the due process was okay when Trump was convicted, but Trump is now given immunity from January 6th prosecution. Oh, that's terrible. Well, due process is
a lot of it. There's still stuff that they can get him, but
sure.
I'm being honest.
I
don't really care either way. None of this will change my opinion of him personally, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Everybody's freaking out, but it's just how it has to work. This is why you vote your president for the future and you vote your representatives in federal and local state for now. Because that's the speed. See, Trump didn't change shit. Trump just allowed under his administration for the correct players to move into play. That's the president's job, to pick and appoint and slide in and work. So if they have to work, and unfortunately you've got to eat it for a while because nobody's close to death on the Supreme Court. So you vote for president for the future, because the changes he makes now, as we saw when Trump was in office, we're 4 years later and decisions he made are affecting things for a specific leaning party. You vote for local, state, and federal representatives now, because that shit happens and they create bills and those bills goes into law. But you vote for the president that you want to okay that shit, because it takes a long time
to get
and
to his desk.
it always goes into effect after a motherfucker leaves. So you vote
because
your president for the future.
Because in 4 years, you really can't get a lot done to the country because the process takes so long. And that's what I always laugh at, where is well, if he's president, he's just going to make this law. He can try, he can start the process, but once it gets to that process and it gets towards the end and there's a regime change, guess what? That law that you so gallantly wanted to wave your plant your fucking flag in, guess what? It ain't going to get passed.
Yeah. Right. But like
because
I said,
like Herm said, you vote for
the future with the Supreme Court.
Well, and that makes sense because a 4
That's
year
how that works. You vote for the president that you want to stack your Supreme Court and go a certain way on a certain subject.
And that's the real power that a president has, is to nominate Supreme Court justices.
Right, because then things just tend to, for the next 4 to 8 to 12 years, depending, go until you've now got everything going that way until a few of those die. Right. You need half of them to die out. You've got 3 liberals on the court right now. You need 3 or 4 to just kick the fucking bucket in order for anything to really change.
I think Clarence Thomas is probably the oldest on that Supreme Court right now, and he's probably the unhealthiest.
I would agree with that.
But he's still got 20 good, maybe 15, 20 good years.
15 to 20 on him.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the power is in the court.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
and
because the fucked up thing with the Supreme Court is it's all subjective. It's all how we interpret it. And if you have enough people on your side that interpret it the same way that you want to interpret it, then all kinds of things go your way.
Well, that I agree, but the caveat to that is that they use already established case law that has something to do with whatever topic they're talking about.
No, I understand.
They have to cite case law.
But
that has to kind of help them display their decision.
If you stacked a blue court, they would find the specific case law that backs up their point.
Mm-hmm.
You can find any case law you want, depending on what side of what.
Well, it's like backing your personal points by the Bible. You can always find something that's going to contradict or be interpreted in a different way.
Either support it,
absolutely,
yeah.
It.
So, but stack the other way. Stack all your coins to the left. They're going to pull the case law to look to see how they can get around it. They're gonna have a very open and liberal viewpoint on how to interpret that law. Republicans tend to interpret the law based upon the facts and presentation of the matter, a little less emotion. Democrats vote with their heart, make decisions with their heart, because that's the demographic they're pandering to. People who have a lot of feelings behind their convictions. So
right, and if they learned how to back up with facts more, they'd be so much better.
Like I hear these debates.
I think you need both to an extent, but
you do. That you need you need balance.
That's how you attach.
I think you need the emotion for the morality of it, but
and to attach yourself to the cause.
Right.
Yeah,
It has to strike a chord with you emotionally somewhere in your soul. And then
otherwise you're not going to fight for it.
Because if Susie Rottencrotch is out there, supporting her cause for the left, and I walk up and ask her, "Hey, would you support this?" and she has no emotional investment in it, she's like, "Nah, I'm good." This is that's the passionate part of it is what I like about it, because whatever it is that they're supporting, it's 110%. The unfortunate part of that is a lot of interviews I've been watching, and man on the street stuff when they're out there, when you have rallies supporting Palestine, and the guy goes, why are you here? Why are you here at this protest? What are you supporting? Oh, I don't know. I just got my friends and I just showed up. Or, so do you know what the cause is you're fighting for here? Well, I'm not the leader of this rally, so I'm not the person to ask. They don't know what the fuck they're standing for. They're going with the group of people, the flock of sheep, to a rally, screaming and yelling, making themselves look like idiots for a cause they'd have no emotional commitment to. So if you're going to be emotional about the cause, learn the cause. Be emotional because of the cause, not just because your friends happen to stumble across it.
Yeah, but I'll bet you find a lot more of that in all kinds of rallies. Look, you had it with everybody that was there at January 6th. No, I was not there to do that. It just kind of happened, and I followed a crowd, and I was just we heard all of them say it.
Yep.
There are those cases.
It happens. We already know it happens on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to. They cross cancel each other out because neither side is not guilty of doing it. So
Correct.
It doesn't really matter. And I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying.
No, it's just that the
left does it differently. The left does it differently than the right does, but it's the exact same behavior for the exact same attempted result.
Just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I can't help but be in awe of everything you just said, because when you on the road as much as I was with my past job, and you drive by a college and you have the Free Gaza banner big as a king size bed sheet, and I want to pull the car over and ask them, do you understand what you're saying right now?
just ask them what the river to the sea is.
No, it's we're talking about kids. Look,
they're children.
They are. Her Jen's son. We were talking about something, and the 5G towers.
Okay.
And he's watched TikTok videos, and
that's where I get all my news
stuff online, and you can't live within like 300 yards of those, or like they radiate you. And look, there's pictures, and the guy's in a suit. And first of all, if the guy's in a Tyvek suit, if there was any radiation, whatever he's wearing, that ain't fucking stopping it, sweetheart. That's like trying to stop a semi with toilet paper.
I've done that, but I stuffed it in the tailpipe.
But, like, he's like, you can't do that. I'm like, Elijah, they have one like 100 yards from my house, and it's like they're everywhere, like right around me. Like, I would be a microwave fucking pizza, bro. What are you talking?
You sure would.
Like I'm like they if that's the case, I'm like, guys, but this is the level of informed that these kids and these young people, he's 21, 22, 24, whatever he is, 23. But that same age, college age, this is the level of informed.
Oh yeah, but going back to
because they can get any bullshit opinion online now.
But to them, it's gospel.
To them, I get my news off of TikTok.
Right, Lord. But if they took a minute, and I guarantee if 90%, I you know what, I'm shooting way too high. If 20% of these kids would actually look up that Gaza has been a free and independent territory since the Abraham Accords of 2003, and the only reason they just want to wipe Israel off the map. They've said as much. The Palestinian, yeah. So if you're saying free Gaza,
they want to kill them all and take their shit. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, and now you want to wipe Israel off the map. So when the Palestinians, when Hamas goes in and kills a bunch of innocent people, they didn't kill military people. They killed innocents. They took hostages. They attacked a music fucking festival. That's what you're supporting. Good job.
A bunch of people at a rave how was that fucking attacking anything but a bunch of innocents?
Exactly. But free Gaza. Okay, well, if you did your homework, you know Gaza's been free for quite a while, and you're fucking moron.
They should be doing it. They should be yelling that at Hamas. Free Gaza.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know like that literally that anger needs to be directed at the government force that's in place there, that the people voted for, and then them assholes went they went megaforce asshole.
I said something to someone this week, and it rings true about this topic, whether it's about the debates, about politics, or whatever. And I love that we few can sit here week after week and have, whether we agree or not, at least good discussion. You can lead a person to logic, but you cannot make them think. And that's the problem.
Yeah, you can't force people to actually engage and use their brain.
Right. And what Herm, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it just came to me. Herm and I had a discussion with his eldest a couple years ago. And you just don't think critically. No. Your version of critical thinking is not actually critical thinking. It's mimicry.
It's agreeance.
Yeah.
That's the college throwout.
Critical thinking doesn't mean you hear whatever somebody has to say and you agree with it.
And you run with it, yeah.
Critical thinking means you listen to what somebody has to say, you weigh it against everything, against logic, against facts. You weigh it. You also weigh it against emotion. Some people also weigh it against faith. Okay, and you make the most logical decision you can for yourself with all of the information. Okay,
it doesn't necessarily mean you agree, though.
It doesn't mean that because you tell me how you feel, I'm going to agree with you. It means that I'm going to validate it, and I'm going to take that into account, and we're going to talk about it.
But I don't think that's how. I mean, their definition
doesn't mean I'm just going to be on team whatever it is you are.
Right. Critical thinking means you're going to freaking listen to what I have to say, and you're going to automatically agree with me.
No,
fuck
it means
you.
I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and then I'm going to think about it.
And I'm going to go, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For a bit.
Yeah, let it marinate. Over.
Thankfully, all of us have chin hair. We go,
I got chin hair at an 8'10".
Yeah, well, there you go.
There I go.
It's just
really think that through.
It amazes me sometimes what people will come out with, and in the name of quote unquote critical thinking, because you're not thinking critically, you're a fucking moron.
I see a lot of that with college graduates, even at my job. You know, it's and the critical thinking. It seems like that's the last ditch, bullet in the barrel, so to speak, that they like to throw when things aren't going their way. Well, you're just not. You have to learn how to use critical thinking. It's like, what? Because I don't agree with you.
Exactly.
Well, and the one thing I always, and I preach this all the time, is just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I hate you, and doesn't mean I'm causing violence against you.
Right. I mean, I may hate you, but I mean, I've got plenty of people I hate who have valid points.
Right. Disagreement does not equal hate, and disagreement does not equal violence.
Nope. Violence is a brick to the head is violence. Me saying that AOC is an idiot, that's not violence.
Right. It's an opinion. And other people have a different opinion. Other people think AOC is a very intelligent woman. She may be. I don't know. But based on her actions,
she doesn't show her really.
She's clearly charismatic. I mean,
that is true.
She is full of personality.
You don't get to where she is without having, the ears
of
riz.
People.
She's got the
riz.
Exactly,
listen
the riz.
to you.
She's got the basic. She's got the basic tool set,
bro.
She's got the basic tool set to do do the job. But
I'm
You
gonna
know,
hit
I
this
just-
grandpa on the motherfucking block, bitch.
Did you break a pen right under your nose?
No, that is my mini half Hitler.
I was gonna say it, but I was like, I don't want
Nice.
to go there.
I have everything has turned white and gray except for this one little patch here. They call it they call me little Hitler every now and then at work, literally because it's like just this little bit.
I'd never noticed it before. Were
Yeah,
you
it's
using
like
like the reverse Grecian formula and doing
Matt,
it?
I've been-
this
Matt,
is
I've been staring at that all fucking night.
It's like
everybody does.
mole.
No.
Look at watch. Everybody, watch everybody's head on that.
Yeah.
See, everybody.
I'm waiting for he's gonna. I hope you walk into work tomorrow and yell Heil Herman.
I won't do it. But yeah, like
Wuss.
some of the cooks is like it's like a little half a Hitler mustache.
I was thinking about it
Like-
as I'm like, it almost looks like a little Hitler mustache.
Oh my
like
god.
I smudged like fucking exhaust soot on my lip or something, but it's not. It's the only part of my shit that is still black, bro. It's holding on. That motherfucker's holding on. It is
That's
not
true, because you
letting
had like
go.
jet black, like fucking Bowser from Sean on Iron.
Everything was black, and this is the only part right here that's like, fuck this, bro. We are not going. This is the
Yeah,
300.
we're not leaving.
This
We
is
will
the
not go
300
quietly
right
into the
there.
night.
Yeah, it's
This
like
is
that and half your eyebrows.
This is the
I thought
300.
maybe Jen got pissed
They
at
are-
you and was like, "I'll show this fucker," and she did a
Oh,
permanent
good
marker on
god
your
damn.
sleeve.
No, because everything is gray everywhere. It's just this little section it is holding on for dear fucking life.
And
And
winning.
it bothers me. Literally, I'm like, I either need to like go like some sort of reverse fucked
Yeah,
up
the reverse
superstar
Grecian
Billy
formula.
Graham. No, like fucked up superstar Billy Graham and
Yeah.
figure it out
Yes.
and do a couple of stripes and widen the stripe out maybe. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so like do a full Hitler mustache in the mustache and then like a couple of Billy Graham stripes. But
You just
Um,
shave the mustache and go with the.
no,
freaking chin.
it bothers me all the fucking time because I notice it all the time. You guys are just fucking noticing it
I
tonight.
just noticed
Yeah,
it for the first
I
time.
like
Like,
can't stop
now,
looking
and I'm
at it.
like, what?
I've
the
noticed it
fuck?
for years. I don't say shit.
You know
It's
what? I didn't
only-
notice it before because he was wearing that freaking aqua puka shell necklace shit, and I was distracted by that.
Yeah,
Now.
that's probably it. Now, see, that's what I'm used to looking at.
That's
is
that's
that.
usually where I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I'm used to looking
Thanks.
at that.
My heard this nigga said puka shell. Bro, that's that is $600 with Navajo.
We've had
New
this
Mexico
conversation 4 fucking
turquoise.
Puka shell.
Dude,
It
this
ain't
is the
puka
most
shells,
expensive
motherfucker.
fucking puka shell necklace you've ever fucking seen.
It's turquoise, bitch.
Wow.
It's expensive. It's
I got
real
nothing.
as fucked up.
I got nothing.
Puka shell. No, you get that shit for like $20.
Yeah, I
bro.
know.
This is
He
That
went to
ain't
Ron
fish
John. He went to
line
Ron
third
John
true.
and got
Okay.
that shit.
you get that shit at Ron John
Yeah, I need a puka shell necklace, a pair of jams,
for real.
Right.
Yeah.
a Ron John
Some
wife
sex
beater
A
wax.
Ron John, a Ron
Sex wax.
John
There you
wife-
go.
to go.
While all while wearing his lycra body glove shorts.
For real.
Oh God.
God.
Oh,
Oh Lord.
put the man meat away, sir.
And some jams.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
I love my jams, bro. They were fucking loud.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question. I think we should leave politics in the rearview mirror for right now.
I thought
The
that's what we were
the
doing.
country's going to burn. We know this. We're just waiting to see
That's
how
the thing, is
badly.
it's really not.
It's,
I know.
it's-
Shut up. Can you
tomorrow's
give
gonna
me?
wake
Can you
up
give
and-
me my moment?
But it's
Come
really
on
not.
now.
There you go.
It's
You had it.
not.
No, I did not. Anyway, I'm expecting that not next week.
Good for you. How, many,
No.
how far along are you?
He didn't transfer. If you let me finish the sentence, you perverted pricks. I'm expecting that not next week, but the week after, that we are going to have a film review. Because if you haven't been paying attention, and if your name is Marsh, you probably haven't. Tomorrow night is the
Axel.
premiere of the Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
I
Yes.
thought that was out already.
No,
No.
no,
Tomorrow.
no, tomorrow night. It's also tomorrow night. Guys, just so you know, Max has Godzilla X Kong
Yes.
for free. You don't
Oh,
have to pay
shit.
for it. I've been holding off.
I
I've
did
been
not
wanting
know
to
that.
buy it on Prime, but I've been holding off until Thursday.
I want to
Did
watch
you
that.
guys?
I want to see that. I'm a MonsterVerse guy.
Did you watch the Godzilla -1 yet? I'm
I did.
struggling.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not real big on subtitles and that shit.
It's dubbed, but it's just
Yeah, I'm not big on
it's
dubbed. I would be better off with just subtitles,
Yeah.
which I probably
It's-
could do if I like put English subtitles on and just turn the but I need the volume. But the problem is I can't turn the speaking off.
I mean, I want to
Yeah,
get excited about it.
it
It's
is-
just not doing it for me.
It is much
Yeah,
better.
like it looked good. Like the cover of that book looked awesome.
It is much better in Japanese with the English subtitles.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
English
like,
the English voice acting is horrible.
Maybe that's what's killing it for me. And I also heard that the black and white version was like,
it is
better.
better.
oh, black and white is always better.
but I
It's-
mean, in that case, because it
that's
takes you back to the freaking, our childhoods and shit.
yeah. I've watched the
I don't think
Japanese
you know.
version, and
I've
it's much
seen
better.
Japanese people, and I don't think Godzilla was really that big. I just think the Chinese,
He's
the
changed
Japanese
size
small,
over the years.
really fucking small. You know, that's what
Yeah.
it is. Japanese people are really tiny. You know, almost like nymphish.
that
Like
tiny.
yeah, like I'm pretty sure like Godzilla was just like an 8 foot tall dude. It
No, it makes sense because all the houses would be really tiny and the cars would be tiny. So when Godzilla goes through the town
I was saying,
majority
like,
film,
like Godzilla was only the size of Andre the Giant, but
That's right.
Japanese
then they
people are
had-
just really small.
look, there goes the 64 Bel Air.
They had Godzilla versus Herm before they shaved him down.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
King Kong, bitch. What's up?
King Herm.
That's right.
You know, I don't often say this, but I say it a lot to you guys. It seems like it's a running theme. You're all fucking retarded.
I got an 810, bitch.
I know.
810 for life.
810 in the house. OG.
Judging by the way a lot of sequels go and a lot of these reboots that have come out recently, the A-Team I thought was a good reboot.
I
kept-
loved the fucking A-Team.
Oh yeah.
I
But
really did.
you know, Cobra Kai, look at Cobra Kai and how awesome that was.
Yeah, but that was the concept, you know, and I put off watching that. I was like, I'm not going to watch this. But the way they spun that thing on its head and turned the hero into the villain and vice versa, it's like, you know, listening to his sympathetic freaking story of what actually went down, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know,
What do we got here?
I can't read it. What does it say?
An
Something
810
about
SAT
810.
score is significantly below the national average, which is around 1050 to 1060. Great. So Marsh is basically our AOC.
I
Yeah,
was
I don't
just
give a
gonna
shit.
say, right? Hold on. I gotta jump online. I'm pretty sure if with Matt as a part of this show that I get a fucking tax break. Hold on.
We could get federal funding for this show.
I'm pretty sure I get a tax break because
Yeah.
of Matt.
You probably do. But here, there's a life lesson to be learned in this. And I learned it
this
a
I
long
have
time
to
ago.
hear.
Oh, he thought this through. Hold on.
I didn't think it through. Somebody told me it made a lot of sense when I was younger and said, it doesn't matter how smart you are. He said, you can always outwork somebody.
That's
And,
true.
You know, retirement, savings accounts, shit like that. I mean,
Yes,
I
you
know
can.
plenty of people with freaking master's degrees that are
Yes,
fucked.
you can. Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Yes, you can.
So yeah, I'm not
However,
going to be going to any
sometimes
tea
when you're
parties
smarter,
anytime soon.
You don't have to outwork anybody. That's
Yeah.
the whole point.
Just join a union.
No, you just
I'm in
I
the
don't have to be
Teamsters.
smart. I just got to be part of a fucking union.
I can do things,
Yeah.
Mikey.
Hey, I can
I'm
do stuff.
smart.
I got
can
my
do
company
stuff.
match on my 401k.
My wife
And,
should look at me in the middle. Hey, I know things.
Yeah,
I
I
know
bet you
stuff.
do, Fredo.
I know. I know.
I can do stuff.
I got it. I know things.
I know lots of things. Some
Oh,
of
my
them were
Lord.
right, some of them were wrong.
Oh, here we go. Should be coming in. I just heard, hey, from the
Hey,
It's over now.
Here comes some shit. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes
comes the wife.
Please watch as Mike Herman gets murdered live on Dysfunction
Live.
Junction.
live tonight on national television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yeah.
You got something
What?
to say?
I can
Why
do
don't you
things.
You-
I'm smart.
I know
Herm.
things, Mikey. Yeah, I'm smart.
Just channel your mustache.
Oh my God.
He was charismatic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
that-
See,
Yeah, that ain't no bullshit. There were studies. They said he was charismatic on a level where
Oh,
there
he
was
was the
like
Pied
mind
fucking
control.
Piper. Yeah.
It was fucking. It was crazy. They said he had like almost a hypnotic freaking ability to like
Yeah, that
mesmerize
was
a crowd.
probably the drugs he was on.
Uh-oh.
He was on. He was. Yeah, well, that could be.
Lynch is
We
gone.
lost him. Did he finally? The Lynch cave has gone dark. Or,
No, I bet he was putting a bomb together and it went off.
Yeah. Goddamn Unabomber.
Kaczynski. Here we
Uncle
go.
Ted.
Welcome back, Uncle Ted. We thought we lost you.
What the fuck was that? Oh,
Did your
I
bomb
don't
go off
know.
inadvertently before
No,
mailing
the,
it to the...
FBI was like, nah, this motherfucker.
Not today.
gotta go.
Not today, Satan. Not today,
Not
Santa.
today, Satan.
Santa.
Not today,
pants.
Santa.
All right.
Not
What were we talking about?
Beverly Hills Cop,
Pants.
the reboot.
Yes.
Again, if you watch the previews, sometimes they
I'm
show
gonna eat
only the
ribs,
good shit in the
salad and
previews.
mac and cheese with that.
Ooh,
I'm just saying,
mac and cheese.
do we think this is going to be a good one, or are we going to waste 2 hours of our life watching?
No,
What
I
was,
think-
what was 3 like?
Three sucks.
Terrible.
3 was terrible,
I
but
never saw it.
Eddie was at a weird fucking point in his life at that.
Oh, was that
particular
like
time.
that?
Eddie
Wonder
kinda
World.
needed-
Mars movie.
Eddie
and all
had
that
just
shit?
been rocked in a fucking divorce, and
Yeah.
Eddie needed
He
a
needed
lot
money.
of money.
That's when he did like Pluto Nash.
Yeah.
right.
Right around the same time.
Dude, I
Yeah.
And
like
Dr.
gotta be
Doolittle.
honest, I liked Pluto Nash. I gotta be honest. I liked it.
A
It's
Goonie
the best
Goo Goo.
movie.
There isn't
Norbit.
there isn't
Oh
really
my God.
there really isn't a bad Eddie Murphy movie. I
Yeah,
just like
Boomerang.
I just like Boomerang was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
It was
I like it.
awesome.
I'm not seeing the awesomeness.
I
No.
love you know what it was for me? It was the soundtrack made that movie for me.
Okay, I'll buy the soundtrack.
I'm an old
Okay.
school R&B
Okay.
fan.
Was that
and
Robin
that's-
Givens in that, or was that Stacey Dash?
It was
Robin
Robin
Givens.
Givens.
Robin Givens.
Robin Givens.
Robin Givens. But the
She got the
soundtrack
hammer toe.
for me is with watching that movie. The soundtrack was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I played that. I made the tape. I made the tape rock till the tape hop. That's how I played that shit. I
Mhm.
stretched 2 of those cassettes out. I loved that.
I don't think I've watched an Eddie Murphy movie in years.
Um,
That
Well,
is
you
an
better get on it
amazing
because
soundtrack.
2 weeks from now we're gonna have a movie review.
yeah,
That is
you're
an
gonna be
amazing
on it. If you
soundtrack.
need it, I'll give you my shit, and you can just watch it on my account. I'm sure of it.
I'll
Um,
check it out.
I don't think HBO really gives a fuck.
Oh.
I mean, Lynch still watches Pueblo TV on his TV.
I do. I do.
I might
Shit.
be the only
To
one.
the point where he signed into my fucking account, and now his phone count, the calendar on his phone is synced with my calendar. So Lynch tells me last night, he's like, "Yo, your wife's got an oil change in the morning, just so you know."
I
At
opened up.
8:30.
Aw.
I opened up
You
the
guys
calendar.
have sync
'cause-
cycles?
Yep,
Not yet.
our cycles have synced.
Not
Oh
yet.
my God.
So I'm looking at my phone and my calendar has a 1 on it, which means I have an upcoming event. I'm like, no, I don't. I click on it and it said Jen with 2 N's. So I know it's Jennifer Herman. Oil change, 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Pueblo-
Meanwhile, your wife sees your phone. She's like, "What the fuck?"
So no, it gets better. Then I
She,
see
yeah, she can go in anytime she wants. I don't give a fuck.
Josiah Guest. I'm like, what the fuck? So I took a snapshot and I sent it to Herm. I'm like, I think I have your calendar on my phone. How the fuck
Yeah.
did this happen?
You do, because something.
Because you're both gay.
Skynet.
And Megan
No,
goes,
we determined it had to do something with YouTube TV, which
Because
signs in, which
our
is it
Gmails.
through Google, and
Yep.
his for some reason, Lynch was the only one that for some reason was getting Pueblo. Like he told it where he lived, but he still got Pueblo. Like it
That's
thought
funny
he
shit.
was me. So Lynch got all of my news channels. He was watching my news. He's like, Herm, the news where you are, he's like, it's great. I'm like, my news is great. And Lynch is like, it is. It's great news. They're
It is good news.
like they're
Have you
very
heard the
right
good
down the
news?
middle, and I watch it because his news is better than ours.
Yeah, very much so.
So Megan's like, what are you giggling about over there? I was like, man, did I smoke too much dope when I got home? And they're like, oh, it's Gmail, Google, blah, 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 blah. And I show it to my wife. She's like, you do realize that you and I can share calendars too, right? I'm like, yeah. I knew that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
like there can be there. Yeah, like I. This is a trusted circle. It's just an open circle. I haven't refined it. It's
Yeah.
trusted contacts, which I don't even know how it's set up, but you can go in and customize it. Like I could literally make like just a show calendar, and you guys could only see show stuff once I classify it as show stuff.
Yep.
I could share a calendar with Jen. I could share a calendar with if I was here with my mother about my mother's medicine between the two of us, notes for doctors. It's yeah, like it's pretty cool shit. The new AI updates fucking made the Samsung's really fucking wicked fucking smart.
Wicked
I'm tell-
smart.
I'm telling you
Your
what-
phone can do things, Mikey. It's
Dude,
smart.
it can. I can take amazing pictures at distances that should be fucking illegal now.
I'm about 90% convinced that my next phone will not be an iPhone.
Really?
I have seen some very impressive shit from Samsung, and
Oh,
Samsung
I'm
and
sure.
Android is
with the phones coming out for next year. I'm like, oh, really?
yeah.
I have what it's
that
supposed to be.
I
I
want
have
that
what is-
one.
I got a
Dude,
coworker who's
ah.
got that. It's good for so many folds before it cracks, but it's like thousands.
Yeah, but you just buy the fucking insurance for $3 a month, and then they send you a new fucking phone.
Yeah, I learned that
Well,
lesson the
there's
hard
that.
way.
Look.
I have what's supposed to be one of the best cameras on a fucking phone. It ain't. iPhone cameras suck. They are
Dude,
horrible.
I'll put my Galaxy A22 Ultra up against any fucking thing on the planet.
So that model in particular, the A22 Ultra, I watched a YouTube video where a guy made a 15-minute short film all on his phone, and you can't tell it any difference between whether it would be
looked
like
it was shot with a Hollywood tip $30,000 camera.
a $30,000 to $40,000 4K camera.
IMAX.
Swear to God, I
I'm
could do
like, holy
IMAX
shit.
high def right now, straight up. It's
I could make Avatar.
So
Oh,
that's what
dear.
made me jumping down the rabbit hole. I'm like, no, I really like what Samsung's doing with phones.
That's cool.
Other than the
dude.
So
I
yeah,
switched
let us
to
know
that
how it
picture
goes.
that guys from that day. I'd gotten the update and realized it was walking me through some of the shit, and I took that picture from the back of the dock on the dock, and then took that other picture from about half a football field away,
yeah, that was very impressive.
and then zoomed in on the fucking box that you can't even tell there's a fucking box in the first picture.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
You could read the numbers on the fucking box. Like I can literally with AI and stability go into at 130% zoom, and it's insane.
Yeah, that's
And it doesn't blur.
that's an appropriate place for AI to let AI figure out, interpolate, what I really can't see in this picture and make it look pretty. Other uses for AI, I'm a little leery on right now. I was like,
Yeah,
you can't get away from it. It's in your Facebook. It's
I
in
like
your-
it for like creative writing on speeches.
Correct. Yeah,
I
stuff
like
like
it
that.
for shit like that.
Just Google or YouTube Boston Dynamics robots.
Look,
and-
just
and
plagiarize
watch-
shit like we
watch
used
them.
to do. Okay,
We never
just
did that.
plagiarize it. Damn it.
word for word.
The problem is nowadays they run everybody's paper and file through a fucking program, and
Yep.
they're like, "Yep."
in
it
2
pulls
seconds.
this- And in 3.5 seconds, it pulls out where this
Yep.
section came from, what book, who wrote it, what
Yep.
year. It's fucked. Like it's not like our teachers who were like, if they were just like, "Oh fuck this,"
And it's not, but,
enough. That isn't even an option now. You send it. You
but it's worse
you
than
literally
that.
submit a text file.
You got people that have submitted like a doctoral thesis like 10 years ago, and they're getting their shit revoked.
Yeah, and they're getting their shit rocked because all of
Yeah.
a sudden somebody
Oh,
ran it through a fucking
We're
check.
revoking it. You've plagiarized. You're no longer a freaking PhD.
Right, your PhD is invalid. It's
Yeah.
Good. Fuck them.
You're an invalid.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I had a senior write a paper. I paid her well for 1 year in Mrs. Hull's English class. It was a great paper, and
Mrs. Hull. I
unfortunately,
never had her.
but I actually read the report that the girl wrote and knew it front to back and spoke well about the topic. So She suspected, but she couldn't prove it. So I got the grade. It's all
You think
right.
she gave a shit?
She did, because she told me, she's like, I'm pretty sure you had somebody write this for you. Just so you know.
And
Pretty
Herm
sure.
said, "Nuh-uh."
Yeah, you can think whatever you want. You can't prove anything.
I don't know. I wish I'd had her instead of some of the ones I did have.
It's just that one paper. I just didn't want to do it. I was fucking busy at the time.
Yeah,
I paid
that,
somebody to do it. I subcontracted out. There you
yeah.
go.
There you go. You want, yeah.
The
very-
American
very-
way.
You got well, you got to
Yep.
you got to think too. Now we're 35 years past when we were in high school.
Like, not that big deal. Like, it was a smart business move. There's no way I was getting that grade. I subcontracted out and had somebody who knew how to do the work
Yeah.
better than I did come in.
Yeah.
Teachers now
There's
have
a lot less.
more. Teachers now have more bullshit to deal with than teachers did 35 years ago, because
Yes.
of that kind of shit. They have to fact check everything. They got to make sure it's 3 times as long to grade those fucking papers. As
Well,
it
that's
used to
if they
be.
give a shit.
Right.
Well, and that's the
Once
problem.
they've got teacher tenure,
most
half
teachers.
of them don't even give a fuck.
That's the problem I have with education.
Well,
is
that's where the curve comes in. You just
that-
grade how you feel.
that's the problem with the education system, is that once teachers get that magic tenure, they just stop giving a shit. And the children we have going through schools right now is the product of that. Leave no
Yeah.
kid behind.
They did. They
Oh.
didn't used to do that.
No,
It
they
didn't
Yeah.
used to be that way. It's like
My
when my
young-
mother got when my mother got tenure, it wasn't a time to back off.
to kick back. It was the
It
kick the
was
afterburners and
it was time. It was
Yeah.
time to downshift,
show you what I
because
got.
she now was legitimate within this inner sanctum
Right.
of credentials, and she
Yeah.
had tenure, which
Yeah.
means when she spoke, E.F. Hutton fucking listened.
Yeah. So it's like put up with shut up. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of how my mother ran
Yep.
it. Like, she fucking ran the fucking principles hard. You got to keep up, kid. We ain't fucking around here. But once she had tenure, they couldn't do anything about it. You had to come up with some really horrid shit in order to get rid of a tenured teacher back then.
Yeah. You had to
This
be like
was-
fucking a
this
football
was-
team and shit.
This was Groton school system in Mystic.
Oh yeah.
She had she had some very well living parents of her students. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
she had astronauts. There was people with all kinds of money,
Scully
restaurants.
Powers.
It's Mystic. The Scully Power thing. You guys, okay, Matt. This is, you guys have heard this one, I'm sure of it. Matt will like this one. So you remember Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh yeah. I love Dukes of
Okay. Do you remember Cooter?
Mhm.
Hazzard. I love Cooter.
Okay, so my mom had
Ben
Cooter's-
Jones.
my mom had Cooter's daughter in real life as one of her students.
Ben Jones was Cooter. He played Cooter.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, that he had a house in Mystic, and he came to parent conferences, and yes, Cooter was his daughter was one of her students. Like,
He
she had some
actually, I think he went into politics later on, if I remember right.
I
Yeah, I
think
think
so.
he did.
But I just
Ben
know
Jones.
that mom came home and told me that the guy that I knew as Cooter
Yep.
was his daughter was in her class this year.
Yep.
And she would be dealing with him as a parent on a regular basis all year.
It gives new meaning to the phrase "crazy cooter coming at you."
Yeah,
he used to,
for
he used to
real.
do a Dukes Fest thing every year. It was a big old gathering for the fans and everything. But that's been going for a while.
Huh.
Yeah, like, she had some really cool high profile parents and it was, but yeah, once she got tenured, it was time to buckle down and start trying to make changes to the system, because you had a voice.
That makes sense.
She was deep in the teachers union and in the National Education Association. Yes,
The
yes,
teacher-
ma'am and sir.
She was a teacher that gave a shit. And
Yes,
I-
yes.
I had teachers like that in high school.
Yeah, she was not a 9 to 3 teacher. She was in at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
First in, last out.
And she would there were when we were kids, mom would sometimes not get home till 6 o'clock at night.
Yep.
Grading
Yeah.
papers, getting things, putting lessons plans together, making sure a science experiment project was ready. All of it.
Because she was of the type that work is work and home is home. I'm not going to bring my work home with me.
She did. That's the whole point of the desk that I'm sitting at. She would do like when I was a kid, it would get told, look, mom's doing report cards this weekend. That means mom is going to be down at her desk for 8 to 10 hours a day at the house.
Leave me alone.
She'll come up for meals. Don't fuck around down there. Stay out of the house. But yet she's got to get some work done. That's part of being a teacher. She actually put in thought and how she graded and how she commented. She would write them and rewrite them and proofread them and rewrite them again. She took the job very fucking serious.
And as well, all teachers should, because there's basically my television consists of YouTube. So I'm going to reference another YouTube video. There's a kid who's getting kicked out of class. I'd say he looks like a senior. And he's getting kicked out of class because he made a comment to a teacher about just being lazy. And on his way out, he said, if you actually acted like you gave a shit instead of just punching a clock, these kids just don't want paper thrown in front of them and say, here, read this. They want you to engage them. He's like, this is the future you're supposedly educating. Now, this is like a 17-year-old kid. And I'm like, fucking A right, man. That's the attitude teachers should. That's the fucking attitude you should have.
It is.
There are students out there. There are students out there that crave that kind of fucking interaction with their teachers, and they don't get it because the fucking teachers get lazy.
But I can tell you from listening to my mom for 40 years, most of the problems are not teachers. The problems,
parents, man.
The parents are difficult. That's just, you have to deal with it. There's nothing there. The problem is administration.
Mm-hmm.
The real problem is administration, and people quiet quit for a boss that sucks. And unfortunately, when it's done with teachers,
kids suffer.
Everybody suffers. Society as a whole. But that's the problem. You have a lot of standards now where school has been almost privatized to a point where nobody wants to spend any money, but you have to spend the money. But the problem is you have so many regulations that we have to judge every kid by, and they have to hit standards, or school districts don't get the money that they need to teach, which is fucked up, because you guys need to make sure that all of your kids score really good on this scale, because otherwise we're not giving you any money. Well, right. if everybody's broke, unfortunately, you have to prioritize that set of rules. We got to pass these fucking tests. We're not really teaching them. We're just getting them to pass the test.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. And I see programs getting ripped out of schools all the time. I lived in the town of Plainfield for 10 years, and I actually went to a couple of the Board of Education meetings, and I went to Board of Ed and Town Council meetings. And I was actually fighting for the Board of Education. And when they got to me, I said, I told them, I don't have children, but I worry for the future. I give a shit about education. And I want to see the basics stay in school. Art, music, the electives that actually kind of build skill sets for kids later on in life. Wood shop, home economics was my big thing.
Here's the point
in school.
Here's the point of view that I think Lynch could get behind. People ask me, I hear people like, my kids are grown and they're out of the house and I don't have any kids in school anymore. Why the hell why am I paying taxes for paying for other school? Why are my taxes for school a thing? Okay. Here's the cool the thing with that is I have no problem paying taxes that pay for education because I don't want a bunch of fucking retards running everything in the future.
And I also don't want these kids on the streets
That's
causing
why.
trouble.
All right. We don't want to have to defend ourselves. That's why we fund the police to investigate crime and to do it. Otherwise, we're on our own. But there are states where we can handle that if it's local. But, I don't want a bunch of retards running shit. That's why I pay my fucking taxes.
And I'm okay with education increases in budget because I'm again, I don't have kids, but I value education.
He just said it. She's repeating the same thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
It's not about education anymore. The
It
system's
isn't
all about
anymore.
money.
It's not about education. It's about
Yeah.
showing on paper to whatever standard the people that are doling out the money that you can regurgitate and score on whatever scale they're making you score to get the money.
Well,
It's
that
not
last,
about teaching the kids. It's about being able to pass the test to get the money.
and that last word that you use there, D, indoctrination, I agree 110%. Very quickly, here's why. We're not teaching our kids to think critically and look at two sides of an argument. The teacher puts their opinion and their
It's all brainwashed.
spin and their politics, and they inject it into these kids and say, if you
Our
don't think,
teachers were never
did that.
never interjected
I had-
politics. They taught us facts
Fuck
and they
no.
taught us that was it.
I didn't
and
see that till I
you
got to
develop-
college.
I used to, I had
Opinions
a,
didn't really happen until later in high school when you were starting to, when you started look here for the guys that went to Ledyard, when you
Yeah.
started dealing with Mr. Rock, and you started seeing, you know what I mean? You
I saw
started to
that.
see liberal teachers,
I had
and
2 English teachers that were like that.
when we were older, but in the beginning, in the young shit, you didn't see any
No.
of that. It was about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It was about 1, 2, 3. It was about
building social skills.
chlorophyll and plant cells. It was about learning things about shit. It wasn't learning about
Ideologies.
politics. The only politics you learned is in history as to the politics of the time that affected what was going on and who was thinking what and why and
Yeah,
what their
social studies.
reactions were.
Correct.
For us, right. For us, it was social studies. Later, it became like world history.
Yeah,
or
U.S.
whatever you read.
history.
You know what I mean? And it spanned out into some of the other sciencey, like anthropology shit. But social studies, there it was, social studies. But we were
Right.
studying society.
We did have teachers with agendas.
Oh,
There's-
absolutely.
No ways about it.
Absolutely. And you got that, when less in class during a lesson, more when you were like maybe talking to them at their desk.
Yeah, but even
Yeah.
in class, I mean, I had a history teacher who wanted to spend 3/4 of the year talking about the Civil War. And I was like, okay, but
That seems a bit odd.
I had an
It was a
English
bit odd.
teacher. I had an English teacher my junior year, Mr. Henderson. He told the class write an opinion paper on the whatever fucking book it was that we had finished reading. Now we had discussed it in class on a Friday. He said papers due Wednesday, so you got the weekend and a couple days during the week. Pass in my paper. I had 3 other teachers read it. I said that's a really good paper. Okay, submit it. I get a D. So I challenged it right in class. I didn't wait till after class. He throws the paper down. I said, "What's this?" He said, "That's your grade." I said, "I had 3 other teachers read this and a bunch of students, and they said it was a fairly decent paper." "Well, it's not what we discussed in class." I said, "Right. That's your opinion. If you're basing this on a scale of what the assignment was, it's my opinion.
Mhm.
I don't need to regurgitate your opinion. I know what your opinion is, and mine's different than yours. I'm not
Right.
accepting this grade."
but he used his power.
I actually had the grade overturned, and I got an A. That was the one teacher that I had that kind of situation. But that's the kind of thing that kids are running into now. I'm going to talk about this, and this is how you're going to answer. Not let's discuss why There's multiple viewpoints on this topic.
Well, yeah, and it's
This is
happening
the-
on both
This is
sides.
the answer. Fucking do it.
It's
So we
happening
can
on
score well,
it's happening on both parties.
and it's
um,
both sides,
It's both sides equally. It's
and it all depends on who runs your local government. That's why it's important to
Pretty much.
fucking vote smart
Pretty much.
local. I agree with
That's-
Herm.
yes, a local is about right now.
What you want to
Because
deal
a lot
with
of
right
that
now,
shit-
because that can change instantly.
That happens every year or two, and shit happens, and big shit happens locally all the time. Half
Yep.
the fucking city council or town council is voted out and overturned. There's
Yep.
one dude left. That shit
Regime
happens
change.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it's back and forth on a day-to-day basis with that. The president is for long term, down the road. Long after he's gone, those changes is when those changes you are voting for are happening.
Well, that's why I always laugh when they say, well, the country sucks because Biden's doing this. I'm like, no, these are all shit that happened that were enacted by Trump.
Stuff that
on
was
his
done
way
in
out.
administration
Right.
or
This
ago.
is all shit that's
So,
right.
You can bitch about
Like,
Biden all
if
you
Trump
want.
wins, if
This
Trump
is the
wins-
fallout.
right, if Trump wins, we'll be dealing with shit that gets enacted
Before
because
Biden
it
walks out.
passed while
Yeah.
Biden was in office, and it'll
Right.
happen. And
It'll be 2030 before you see half of this shit.
One guy inherits a leaky bag of shit from the next. That's
Right.
really all it is.
Every
and you're just,
fucking time.
and you're just
well,
trying to
no, I mean, like
maintain-
literally, I mean, Biden was right the other night when Trump was all, look, when I turned over, there was no inflation, everything was good, the economy was amazing, and Joe's like, yeah, there was no inflation because there was nothing happening. The economy was completely decimated, and Joe was straight up correct. You walked away and just fucking walked away, and Joe walked into holy shit.
he walked into COVID.
Right.
He walked into people
Right,
losing their jobs at record
Trump hadn't
rates.
really done anything, and he walked into holy shit. This
So the-
place is all fucked up.
And that's the
So
one
the-
thing I'm going to disagree with Biden about is he says, I created so many new jobs. Well, yes and no.
That was
those
by
are the
proxy
jobs
from the boomerang from COVID.
Well, that
Correct.
it is, and unfortunately, he gets to take credit for it. 8 million jobs, or I'm throwing out numbers. off the
Agreed.
top, not numbers that I don't know, but X million number of jobs were created from when he came in, and it happened and came back. So yes, and honestly, things aren't as bad as everybody thinks they are.
The economy is not that bad right now.
It's not. Things
The
are
Feds just
actually
need to
cheaper
not
right
raise interest
now.
rate.
Wages are at their highest right now for people taking employment than they have ever been.
Yeah, the unemployment rate is really, really low.
There's almost no finding a job is actually starting to be difficult
Mhm.
now, because everybody's working.
A very large majority of the country is
Yeah.
working. We all have
so-
jobs.
And that's
the
a move.
rebound.
It's
So-
a movement in the right
it's-
direction.
Right. I mean, Trump skated out just before everything crashed.
Well, he got voted out. Let's not.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm just saying, like, he hadn't really done a lot for the whole COVID thing. It wasn't really a thing. And then it just
and it came in at the ass end of his president. I'm not sticking up for him. You know me. I don't have.
No, it
I
came
don't-
in right at the end. Like, it was just the way the switch happened, and the timing was just right, where it just fell the fuck apart. And that's how it worked.
Yep.
But Joe gets credit for everything coming back, and that's how that works. There's been a lot of stuff other than that recovery happening that is a result of Trump through the Supreme Court. And like I said, until you get a couple of justices to die, you're not going to be able to change the way everything leans, because it is subjective and an interpretation. So
well, that's what the law is.
it's
That's
just
what a court
unfortunate
does.
we have
They interpret the
get-
law.
we have to hope that whoever's doing the fucking job is doing the best they can for us as a whole. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to remember that the ebb and flow really takes it's going to happen regardless.
You just sparked something that
It's
I
about a
remember
10-year cycle, and
when Trump got elected president and people wanted him to fail. I said, okay, that's the dumbest thing you could hope for because he's the president of the United States. Whether or not you like him, whether or not I like him, whether or not I like anybody who's sitting in an office, if you want him to
No,
fail,
I don't want him to fail because that's just
No.
horrible for all of us. But
exactly. But you,
Tom Hanks
again,
actually did a really good freaking speech on that.
you
I
can
want him
lead.
to do the best job he can. The problem is, I don't think he can do the job.
That's not the point.
No,
but when
but
you
you're
have-
right. You're right. And
When you have the crazies on either side,
I do not
hoping
want him to fail. Fuck that.
when you have the crazies on either side praying for him to fail, I'm like, you really hate this country, don't you?
Right, and it would also depend. Like, we're in an election right now. I'd like him to fail.
During the election, yes.
Right, in that aspect, I would like him to fail at this whole election thing. There it is. If he gets the job, do I want him to fail? No, because then the whole country fails.
Correct.
I want him to do the best fucking job he thinks he can do.
You can lead a person to logic, but you can't make them think.
I would never hope anybody fails. I hope they do a great job.
That's like getting on an airplane and saying, you know what? I really hope that pilot fucks it up.
I hope you crash.
Right?
The fuck?
Any of you guys, I don't know. I mean, we all have our own independent vehicles, but have you ever taken an Uber?
Yeah, once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get in the Uber and be like, I really hope this guy's hopped up on meth and we drive into a school bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove Uber for a little while, but
So did
yeah,
I.
like, really, like, do you hope that the guy is all fucked up and kills you on the way to wherever you're going? No.
Bingo.
You want the guy to do the best job he possibly can, and with the least worrisome outcome.
And if I can interject one thing, that you guys who follow us and watch us, and the four of us on this panel are, I like to believe we are intelligent, except Marsh, who got a 6 on his SATs.
810, motherfucker. 810.
8-10.
Get it right.
I'm going to give you a test.
I actually
And I'm
think
going
it
to
was
give
an
I'm going to give
814.
it to these guys.
Okay.
And here's where we're going to go, because if, and this is with capital letters blinking like the KISS logo, if Trump is elected president again, we're going to take a test. And I want you guys to answer honestly. I'll start with Herm. First question goes to Herm. Herm.
Yeah.
Are you American?
I am.
Okay. Lynch, who's the president of the United States?
Right now, Joe Biden.
No. If
if he wins,
yes.
Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, you're not my president.
There it is. The answer.
Yeah.
If you're American and Donald Trump's the president, he is your president. Stop
It
it
doesn't
with
matter.
the
It's pretty simple.
narcissistic crybaby.
Yeah, I mean, I
bullshit.
understand what they're saying. Like that's
It's not the person they wanted in office.
I don't
that
care.
they don't
I
support.
get it,
but
but
I get it. But I understand. But he is, well, he might not be your president. Look,
It might not be your choice.
Look, he might not be your president, but he is the president. So
He is
Still your
our
president.
and
Stop.
and
You're
that's
splitting hairs. He
But,
is
but-
your
but-
president.
it doesn't
Why
matter.
are we even talking about this?
He's not your
Look,
choice.
I'm allowing you to believe what you believe, and
Are
again,
you?
this I am. I'm allowing you to believe that you believe, but he is the president. So
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what you believe, there's the fact, and that's my position.
Right.
You
He's
believe
the
it.
American
Absolutely. He might
president.
not
You
be
are an
your
American.
president. He might not be your air
No,
quotes president,
your choice.
right?
but
You
he's
know what I
still
mean?
your
But he
president.
is the president, so we're all stuck with him. So,
But you
suck
couldn't
it.
go into your job and go, "You're not my boss." That's not my boss.
you don't
That's
have
your
to like the
boss.
man. You just have to respect the position.
Exactly. And that's what I said for 4
Exactly.
years. And people can spin it. And I'm not saying you, Herm. You did a very good job with the counterpoint.
I've worked
Thank
for
you.
douchebag. I've worked for douchebag.
Yeah, no, but I don't believe that. Look, I don't really support the president in a lot of shit, and that's how I would speak. Yeah, he's the president. I live in America. He's the president of my country.
He's still my
There it is.
president.
Um,
He's just not my choice.
Unfortunately for me, how I feel, he is my president. That's perfectly legitimate statement to make. If we're going to clarify it, then do it right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Look, he's the president, but he's not exactly my personal president. You see, look,
No,
clarify
personal
it.
choice.
You know what I
Not your
mean?
choice.
But he is the president, and we whoever the choice is, we're just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, none of us
He
have
ain't no Leon Phelps, that's for sure.
Exactly.
You
Leon
know,
Phelps.
it's just the way it goes. I'm hoping we see another election, a debate or two.
I think there's another one scheduled for next month.
I'm
Cannot
waiting.
wait.
I'm surprised we don't have a Trump vice president elect yet.
Yeah, is that not weird?
And yeah, it is.
That ought to be something.
I mean, there's been talk about options, but I'm not sure. Nobody's sure yet. But usually there's a vice presidential debate in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't have one because there's no fucking second option.
You want Kamala Harris to fuck it up even further? Have her debate.
I
herself.
mean, I say whatever you want. Call me whatever you want. I don't think Kamala is the option for VP. I gotta
Nope.
be honest.
No, she sucks.
She really hasn't done anything other than be black and a woman. Not that I've seen, and I don't
Preach
mean
on,
that,
brother Herm. Preach
and
on.
I don't mean that in a hateful way.
No, you don't.
But that was kind of the what was touted. You know, she's the first black female president, vice president.
He said out loud when he started to run. He said, "I'm going to pick a woman
black candidate
and a person of color who happens to be a woman." This was calculated, and you know what? Good on him.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
won.
it did what it did. I would like to see another option for vice president for Joe. I don't know who. A couple of the
On your
options
side?
might-
Well, no,
Yeah.
I say your side. Oh my God!
Your
Listen to me.
side.
It's not my
Well,
side.
He's very much. He is center left. I'm center right. It is kind of ish. We'll say ish. Your side ish. Wow.
I'm pretty much rather Republican and conservative on most shit. I'm just extremely liberal on abortion. That's literally where it comes down to.
Okay.
That's
give you
literally
that.
my whole. That's literally my whole platform. I am completely liberal on abortion, and pretty much everything else I'm conservative on.
Okay.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
All right. We'll knock it down, guys. Don't forget, if you have any free time tomorrow, go check out the Speedway Review. We're going to be talking about all things Nashville, and there was some movement in the points. I just can't say who, where, when, and how, but there was some movement in the fantasy points.
Very nice.
And we get to hear the collective raspberries because the Xfinity race was won by someone very special.
Oh yes.
Special?
Very special.
Like,
Special
you wear a helmet
education,
all the
special
time?
needs, special teams. You got it.
Ricky Bobby.
Licky Bobby.
Just about. Just
Close.
about.
Just about.
Damn close.
Licky Bobby.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Tell me, Tom Cruise.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moments of a dying world, what have you
I'm still hoping against hope that Trump picks Lauren Boebert.
Oh dear Lord.
I am the master debater. I am the best
Oh,
master
good
debater ever.
Heard.
I
I'm
would
the
master
best
debate.
debater.
I would master debate every time she was on the screen.
Ugh.
I would ooze all over.
Trump.
Bobert.
You guys at
Bieber.
once dance.
Is that her name? Cubert.
Hubert. Wow.
Oh dear God. We are
Money
out of
shot.
here.
Lock it down.
Everybody.
Money shot.